Rapid job turnover is going to be a fact of your life for the rest of your life. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, a person starting work today will have 14 full-time jobs lasting 2 years or more, and 5 full-time careers lasting 5 or 10 years. We have moved from an era of lifelong employment to an era of lifelong employability. Now, how do you succeed in a turbulent world where jobs are churning like a washing machine and will continue to do so for the rest of your life? Today, there's about 25 million men and women who are either unemployed or underemployed. In America, they say the employment rate is 8.2%. This is about as realistic as moon on the cheese. The true unemployment rate, according to Businessweek, Fortune, Forbes, Wall Street Journal, and Investor's Business Daily, is about 17.7%. It's an incredible rate today. And the unemployment rate for many college graduates is 25 and 30%. So how can someone be a success in getting a job and in an industry that's not doing well? Well, there's a rule that when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And at the beginning of our economy, at the beginning of the last century, if you wanted to succeed, you worked 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Eventually, they got it down to 10 and down to 8. The average working person today works about 5.2 hours. All the rest of the time is spent wasting time, talking to friends, going for lunch and coffee, coming in late, leaving early, and so on. If you're really serious about doing well in your industry, what you do is you turn up the pressure. You start working longer and harder. I will give you a secret that will make you successful, happy, thin, and rich. It's simply this: work all the time you work. When you work, work. When you go to work, work. Put your head down and work full blast the whole day. When someone comes up to you and says, "Hi, have you got a minute to talk?" You say, "No, why don't you go and talk to that other person and ruin his career?" As far as you're concerned, people are watching you, and especially the people who control your job are watching you. And so you want to make sure that whenever they look at you, you are working all the time. If you want to supercharge your career, here's 3 keys, absolutely guaranteed. Number 1, come in an hour early to work. Come in earlier than anyone else. Napoleon Hill writes about a strategy practiced by a young man. He found out when he got his job, when his boss came to work, and he always came an hour earlier than his boss. So when his boss arrived, there he was. And he always worked through lunch. So when his boss, who was overwhelmed with work, would look up, all the other employees were gone and he was still there. Then he looked at what time his boss left, and he worked an hour longer than his boss. So whenever his boss left, he was still working. Well, do you know what happened? For about 2 or 3 months, the boss said nothing. And then one day, at the end of the day, the boss came over and said, "Look, there's no one else here. Could you take care of this for me?" And he said, "Sure." And he pounced on it. And he did it. He worked hours and he got it all done. When the boss came in the next morning, it was all done. And the boss was surprised. So a couple of days later, the boss said, "Could you take care of this for me?" And he pounced on it again. And he got it done quickly and well. And the boss was again impressed but didn't say anything. This happened several times, and pretty soon the boss started to give him more and more jobs. Now, here's an important insight. Every time you take on a new responsibility, you promote yourself. Every time you ask for more work or take on more work, you promote yourself. You make yourself stand out. You make yourself more valuable than anyone else. You make yourself stand out in the eyes and minds of the people who can help you the most. So if you want to get ahead in your industry, turn up the pressure. Turn on the turbochargers. Work all the time you work. Put your head down from dawn till dusk. Don't waste time, and keep volunteering for more responsibilities. If you do that, you'll soon become valuable and eventually indispensable. You will create complete job security for yourself for the rest of your career.